Hey, fourth grade, we're going to be doing our reading lessons online. Our book for this week is Where There's Smoke, There's Fire. And then you're going to answer the questions in your Google Classroom after you watch this video. Smoke is billowing from windows on the 5th floor of the apartment building. People on the street below look up and notice the smoke. Those who look carefully can see flames. Sirens can be heard in the distance. Someone must have reported the fire. Here comes the fire brigade. The fire engine and fire trucks pull up in front of the building. The firefighters are here and they are ready to go to work. Hopefully they have arrived in time to put out the fire before anyone gets hurt. Sadly, this scene is repeated all too often. Every day in cities and towns all across the country, fires break out. Fires occur in places where people live, where they play, and where they work. As soon as a fire has been discovered, it is important for a fire brigade to respond as quickly as possible. That is the only way to avoid harm to people and property. Firefighters must have total dedication to their jobs. This is important because fighting fires is a very dangerous work. It is one of the most important jobs a person can do. Because of their dedication, firefighters do everything possible to save lives. Many firefighters have even given their own lives to save others. Before firefighters can rush into a burning building, they must learn many things. First, firefighters must complete a long training program. They have to know how to use all of their equipment correctly. This includes items such as hoses, axes, oxygen tanks, and face masks, ladders, and ropes. They also have to learn how to drive the fire trucks. Second, firefighters must learn how to communicate with each other. If some firefighters are inside a burning building, they might need to talk to the firefighters who are outside with the hoses, ladders, and other equipment. To do this, they must use walkie-talkies. For example, firefighters might need to help saving a person who is trapped. The firefighters must be able to communicate with their fellow firefighters to help the person escape unharmed. Next, firefighters have to know how to give medical care to people suffering from burns, smoke inhalation, or other injuries. Often, firefighters are the first to arrive on the scene. If someone needs medical attention, they must be able to help until the ambulance comes. Finally, firefighters must know how to save people. Often people get trapped on high floors of burning buildings or in burning cars. During their training, firefighters practice saving each other from difficult situations such as these. They have to learn how to use ropes and ladders for climbing, and they must learn how to use a tool known as the jaws of life. This tool can force doors open and cut through metal. It is used most often to help free people who are trapped in cars or buildings. A fire brigade consists of two groups. The group on the fire engine or pumper is called the engine company. Those firefighters handle the water pump and hoses. The group on the fire truck is called the ladder company. They handle the ladders and platforms that can be raised high into the air. Both groups of the fire brigade work as a team when fighting a fire. They know that the lives and the lives of others depend on each firefighter doing the best job possible. Because of this, they develop a loyalty to their team and to each other. At the scene of a fire, the fire chief decides on the best way to fight the blaze. He or she helps the officers of the engine company and the ladder company to organize their people to work together to fight the fire. Each firefighter has a different job. For example, one person's job might be to control the nozzle on the hose. When a brigade gets to a fire, a big hose is used to connect the pumper to the fire hydrant. This allows water to flow into the pumper. Next, hoses called lines are connected to each other. At the end of the line of hoses is a nozzle. Water shoots out of the nozzle with such force that it is difficult to aim the spray of water. Controlling the nozzle requires a lot of practice and skill. Another firefighter's job might be to ventilate the burning building. Once the engine crew is inside, the outside vent person goes to work. He or she ventilates the building by opening doors and breaking windows if necessary. While the engine crew puts out the fire inside, smoke and heat can escape through broken windows and open doors. This makes it easier for the firefighters to put out the flames. While the main job of firefighters is putting out fires, they also work to prevent fires. Firefighters often visit schools and workplaces to teach fire safety rules. They tell people how to prevent fires. For example, many fires are caused by flammable materials. A rag coated with paint that is left lying in a basement can start a fire. Many house fires are started by flammable materials such as this. Sometimes, firefighters are faced with very difficult situations. A fire may get out of control before they have a chance to put it out. If the weather is dry and a strong wind is blowing, the fire can spread to other buildings. Eventually, entire city blocks and even whole sections of a city may be burning. Such a fire occurred in San Francisco after that city was rocked by a strong earthquake in 1906. Most of the buildings were made of wood, so the fire spread quickly. A large part of the city was destroyed. During times like this, a state of emergency may be declared. To gain control of the situation, the government may order a curfew. One purpose is to get people off the streets. Then they will be out of the way for the firefighters and other emergency workers. Another purpose is to prevent stealing. Sadly, stealing tends to happen after some fires. People caught disobeying curfew can be arrested. Each year, advances lead to new and better types of firefighting equipment. However, no matter how much progress is made, fighting fires is still a difficult and dangerous job. Every day, firefighters risk their lives to protect others. We owe firefighters our deepest appreciation for their efforts to keep us safe.